Hello, children. I welcome you all to this English class. Today's session, we are going to learn from grammar. The titles are If Class, Framing Questions, and Question Tag. Do you know what is conditional sentences in English? Yes, conditional sentences in English are used to talk about events and their results. First, we'll see about if class. If class is also called as conditional class or conditional sentences. They have two parts. They are if class and the main class. Look at the example. If it rains, I will stay at home. Here, if it rains is the conditional class and I will stay at home is the main class. Note the point, it does not matter which comes first. I will stay at home if it rains. So, we can use like this also without using comma. Let's see the condition plus and its result in the upcoming conditional classes. The first one is zero conditional and it has the formula of if plus simple present in the conditional class and simple present will occur in the main class. Look at the example. If you stand in the rain, you get wet. Look at the second example. If you eat ice, it melts. Here, look at the first two sentences in the conditional class. We have simple present tense of stand and eat. So, again we have a simple present verb of get and melts in the main class. Let's see the uses of zero conditional. Facts which are generally true or scientific facts, the condition always has the same result. In a simple way, we use the zero conditional when we want to talk about facts or things that are generally true. And not only that, scientific facts are often covered by the zero conditional class. Got it? Yes. And the one more important thing is the zero conditional uses if or when and must be followed by the simple present or imperative. Got it? Yes. The next one is first conditional. The first conditional is the possible conditional. It is used to talk about possible future events and their likely results. And the formula of the first conditional is if plus simple present in the conditional class and in the main class we will have future tense. That may be will or won't, shall or shan't, may or may not, can or can't. Look at the example. If you study, you will pass the exam. If I park my car in the sun, it will get hot. Here, if we have simple present in the conditional class, then we will have future verb in the main class. Let's see the uses of first conditional. A possible situation in the future, predicting a likely results in the future if the condition happens. So, we can use the first conditional to talk about predictions, superstitious, future plans, warnings and threats, and offers and suggestions. These are the things that are real, so this conditional is also called the future real conditional. Normally, there are two parts to a conditional sentence. There is an if class, also called as the conditional class, and the main class or result class, so which we have already seen, right? So, the if class contains the condition, the event or situation that must happen first, and the main class, which is the result. the two events are connected. One event or situation is a condition for another event or situation. Got it? Yes. The next one is second conditional. The formula of second conditional class is simple past plus would plus verb. So, we will have simple past in the conditional class, that is in the if class, and would plus verb in the main class, that is in the result. Look at the example. If I won the lottery, I would travel a lot. Look at the second example. If they sold their houses, they would be rich. So, look at the underlined words in the conditional class of first and second sentences. Won and sold are in the past tense. So, we have used would travel, would be in the main class. Let's see the uses of second conditional. Hypothetical or unlike situations, unreal or improbable situation, now or in the future. So, in the simple way, we can say that the second conditional is a structure used to talk about impossible or imaginary situations. Now, look at the first example. If I won the lottery, I would travel a lot. This sentence shows that the possible situation. And look at the second example. If they sold their houses, they would be rich. This sentence shows that the situation is imaginary. This is very important in the secondary conditional sentences. In this sentence, the time is now or any time and the situation is hypothetical. And the next one is third conditional. The formula of third conditional sentence is past perfect plus would have plus past participle verb. Look at the example. If I had eaten so much, I would have felt sick. Look at the second example. We would not have missed the plane if we had taken a taxi. So, in the conditional class, if we have past perfect tense, then the main class obviously have would have plus past participle verb. So here had taken and had eaten are the past perfect tense or used in the conditional class, that is in the if class. So we have would have plus past participle verb in the main class or in the result. Let's see the uses of third conditional sentences. The person imagining a different past, imaginary situation that did not happen. In a simple way, it talks about the past. It's used to describe a situation that did not happen and to imagine the result of this situation. Got it? Yes. Let's recall the formula of all the four conditional sentences. So the first one is zero condition, simple present plus simple present. So in the main class and as well as the conditional class, we will have simple present. And the next one is first conditional class. And the rule of the first conditional class is simple present plus future verb or future tense. And the next one is second conditional class or second conditional sentences. The formula of second conditional sentence is simple past plus would plus verb. And the next one is third conditional class. So the formula of third conditional class or third conditional sentence is past perfect tense plus would have plus past participle verb. So keep all these formulas in your mind to understand if class. Let's see few more examples of if class. If you trip on pavement, you get a scrap. If he calls me, I will answer. Jenny will buy this dress if it's on sale. If I were rich, I would never work again. I would have helped if I had known you were in trouble. If the clock strikes midnight, it's a new day. I would faint if I ever met Brad Pitt. If she had arrived 5 minutes earlier, she would have seen the whole show. Let's see how to frame questions. The interrogative pronouns who, what, whom, whose, which, and the interrogative adverbs where, when, why, and how are used to frame information questions. These question words are called as WH questions. So, when we are using WH questions, we will get some informations as an answer. Look at the examples. Who won the game yesterday? What animal has horns? Whom did you tell? Which is faster? How was the movie? Why don't you like? So, we will get some information or answers in the sentence. So, for the first question, we can get the answer like the Indian cricket team won the game yesterday. The next one is polar questions. Polar questions are also known as yes or no questions. They are called so because the answers to these questions will always begin with a yes or no. Such questions are framed using primary auxiliaries and secondary auxiliaries. So, the primary auxiliaries are am, is, or, was, were, do, does, have, has, had, and did. Look at the example. Do you like chocolate? Are you ready? So, obviously, we will get answer for these questions. Yes, I like chocolate, or no, I don't like chocolate. Otherwise, yes, I am ready, or else no, I am not ready. The secondary auxiliaries are will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must. That is modal auxiliary verbs. So, we can use even these verbs to frame questions. Shall we go now? Would you like to drink tea? Will you sit down? So, for all these questions, once we can get yes or once we can get no as the answer. Got it? Yes. Let's see question tag. Do you know what is a question tag? A question tag is a short question added at the end of a statement. It is generally used when asking for agreement or confirmation. The tag is formed with the auxiliary verb in the sentence and the subject. A positive statement takes a negative tag, while a negative statement takes a positive tag. If the sentence contains a main verb, then the question tag uses an appropriate form of do verb. An appropriate pronoun of the subject is added to the verb to form the tag. The sentence ends with a comma followed by a tag which ends with a question mark. Look at the example. You are a student. So that is the statement. So when we are making question tag, we should use verb plus subject. So aren't you? If the sentence is in the positive, then we should make a question tag in the negative. If the sentence is in the negative, then we should make the question tag in the positive. Look at the second example. Alia is not a lawyer. This sentence is in the negative form. So, the question tag should be in the positive. So, is he? Look at the next example. They went to movie. Here, went is the main verb. So, we should use do form of verb of did for the past tense. So, didn't they? Next one, my mother cooks nicely. The same way, here also we used main verb cooks. Though the main verb in the present, we should use the present do form of the verb. So, doesn't she? Got it? Yes. And the next one is intonation and meaning. The intonation, that is, the raise and fall of the voice in speaking of the question tag, determines the meaning of the question tag. Raising intonation. Look at the example. Madhav does not speak Telugu. Does he? If the intonation of the tag goes up, it means we are not sure if Madhav speaks Telugu and we want to know if he does. And the next one is falling intonation. If the information of the tag goes down, it means we are checking or confirming if Madhav speaks Telugu. Got it? Yes. Okay, children, up to this, the grammar part is over. Hope you understood. Please try to find out answers in your textbook exercises for better understanding. Thank you.